and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Action Man 1995 display stand. As you can see here, I'm quite lucky that I've managed to find one brand new in a box, so I can take you through all the packaging as well. On the front, obviously it's shown with Mission Extreme. You have to excuse my lights, I'll try not to get too much glare on them. It says holds figure in action pose. Obviously it's supposed to be used in conjunction with any Action Man figure, and it should technically fit. Display stand with fold up scene, which I'll show you in a minute. If we flip that round to the back, it tells you that you should cut the side of the box off, fold it in half, and then that makes the scene at the back of your display stand. And here we've got a few alternatives figures that are actually being held in place. Now on this box, down here, this stand here, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see it, is actually moulded in brown, but I believe the only ones that they ever did were moulded in green, because I think that was a missed opportunity. I think you could have had like a stone grey, a snow white, obviously a bit of a brown, we've got the green, and then maybe a desert one also. But the thing is, I don't think these were picked up by kids really at the time, and it was more of an adult thing and not that many were sold. You can still pick these up online quite easily for a reasonable price, because I think it was something more that people picked up that were reduced and then just put them into storage and never used them. But I'm happy to have one anyway so that I can show you guys. And then obviously this is, we open it up, is where the display part is. You can see there we've got like a forest, and then we've got some like soil on the bottom. There is a piece of Velcro here that should be connected onto this side over here, but the glue's come off, so both pieces of Velcro are on that side for me. We do have a nice Action Man logo moulded into the blister there, so that's something handy. And then the display stand, which I'll get out and show you properly so it's not shining so much. Then we do get the black pistol and the knife. So I'm going to open this and then show you everything up close. One thing I'd just quickly like to point out while I was cutting it out is they've put an orange dotted line going all the way around these rocks here. But it's going to like cut off and take all the definition off the texture of the rocks, unfortunately. But there's nothing you can do about it, because obviously you're going to leave it with an orange lining. So I would have preferred it if they'd have left that, and then I could have had a go at cutting around it myself, but that's how it came. Okay, I've got the display stand out of the box now, and I'll try and show you up close. As you can see here, we've got some texturing going all the way through. I think I'll probably end up putting a wash on this just to highlight that a little bit more. You can see lots of detail there, but I think that's just because my lights are so bright they're casting a good shadow. It is actually dual, got a few bits of paint on it. As you can see here, we've got a brown going round, and as we rotate it round, we've got a bit of green also, so maybe that brown was just a bit of an overspill, but it definitely looked like that whole stand was brown. We get the Action Man logo just here. For me, I thought it'd be a little bit more solid than this, a bit more like the G.I. Joe bases that we used to get in the past. They were made out of really thick plastic. Unfortunately, this is really, really thin. It seems really fragile. And not as heavy duty as I was expecting it to be, unfortunately. Then this is the hole where the clip will go. As you can see there, that's supposed to be for the leg. I don't know whether it'll be narrow enough to hold an arm if you wanted to get him to do a handstand or something. Has this kind of connector on the bottom. It does look like it's only supposed to go one way, because it's got a flat piece just at the top here. If I can show you, that's flat, whereas the rest of it's rounded. And then if we look closely on the stand, just on this bit here, it's flat also. So you are just supposed to clip that in one position, and that's where it's meant to stay. But I think you could actually push it up a little bit and get away with rotating it in a slightly different direction if you wanted to. That is definitely where it's supposed to be locked in, obviously with the Action Man foot going there. Quickly, before I forget the other little bits, as you can see here, we've got the black pistol, if I can get that to focus correctly. Lots of detailing in there. We've seen this many times before in the earlier Action Man ones. Nothing new there. It's just nice to have a fresh one that's not got back teeth marks in it or scuff marks. And then also we get this knife, again from the earlier sets. These were included in quite a lot of them. So then if we try and go into the functionality of this stand, I will just knock the camera down a minute. And the idea is, the only figure I've got at hand at the moment is actually this kickboxer, but we should do for posing. So the idea is you put your foot in there, and then that's supposed to hold around the leg. Well, already I've noticed a problem that it's not holding his leg at all, in any way, shape or form. So if I try and get him to pose, he's just got a little bit of a slant on him, which I suppose is okay for a kickboxer. But yeah, I'm just struggling to actually get this to hold in position. Have a look on the back of the box. Yeah, that's exactly where it's positioned on a lot of the other sets. It's not holding onto any knees or boots or like equipment. It's just supposed to be on the legs. So it's not doing a great job there. What about if we try and get him in a handstand? Can we get him to pose in a different position? Of any weight actually holds the arm reasonably well, actually. So I suppose you could do something like that if you wanted with him. Let's just pop him out. I have actually got another figure here. I've got a net launcher. See if having material on it makes a little bit more difference. Obviously, if you stand both the feet in the one position, because there's a foot position here that's there, and there's also a space where on this rock where he can go. And I think standing there like that, yeah, that's going to be great. But if you're trying to get him in any other more action poses, it feels like a lot of strain going on that little bit of plastic down here. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to hold up, because like I say, this plastic, even by the sound of it, it just sounds a little bit cheap. So unfortunately, I'm not. It seems okay, but I'm not as happy with it as I thought it was going to be. Like I say, I just thought it was going to be a slightly more rigid plastic, rather than like a milk bottle top. But it is what it is. Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important bits. Obviously, because this packaging's quite old, as I've tried folding this in half, has caused a bit of a crease throughout the whole of it, but that should be hidden reasonably well behind the stand. If you put that there, obviously you're going to have it propped up against something at the back, because it's just going to fall down unless you weight it or something. But all in all, that's a piece that's probably just going to end up getting thrown away. So all in all, this display stand, I've got to say, I am a little bit disappointed with it. I think I'll just stick to using the old G.I. Joe stands, the big black bases. I think they're a lot more solid and just help him stay up. Already just trying to get this figure in, I find that the boot's not quite fitting into where the spacer is. You can put a boot on this one, but I've rested it on that one there. Yes, it looks nice. Yes, it does look more decorated than the G.I. Joe ones. But for the price of it, I don't think I could have obviously lots of them on display. I think I'd rather try and find different alternatives to get all my action men to stand up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more Rawpain reviews.